to get the racks of weenies off. And I did.
This is Beyond the Rig.
Welcome to Beyond the Rig. Today is going to be a very fun episode. If you see sitting next to me, there's Brett Stabler. Sitting across from us, of course, is Corey. One more story, Corey Webster. And you
One
look
more story or two.
and you look around and you think you got to use your mic for the record. I just got the notes, so let's do that again,
y'all.
Corey. There you go, Corey. But
We couldn't afford an extra arm.
It's old age. He doesn't remember you need microphones anymore.
then you have Will. So you got to be wondering, Will normally is sitting in this seat, and why is Will sitting over there?
My farewell. You're getting rid of me.
Will has decided to go noodling. He is no longer.
It's not just his farewell. This is his farewell that Will himself planned.
Oh, that's
You know those people that like have a birthday and they're like, oh, I'm gonna throw myself a surprise birthday party because I want everyone to know who I am. That's Will.
Couldn't get nobody else to come to the party.
And we're here just for Will because he threw it.
This is why we're not scripted or anything. It's just like, hey, we're not even actually filming. Look,
There's only one thing worse than planning your own podcast,
being
What?
in it,
planning your own funeral.
right?
And we all know Will's close to that too.
So I just want you to know I'm ready for whatever questions today. I don't want this to be like a stinking script. I want you to bring it on, Stabler.
Okay. I got some questions.
So Will is not leaving night transportation, but he is leaving the podcast. He really is going home to Tennessee. Just for how long are you going?
A year or so.
For a year or
Yeah.
so. What does that mean exactly?
Maybe
like
a year.
in English?
A year and a half, tops.
A year and a half? Since when did it go to a year and a half?
God, my chores of what everybody has me having to
A
do
year and a
up
half
there.
always turns into longer than a year and a half.
So-
Everyone says the same thing.
I'll be divorced after a year and a half. Trust me.
Is your
it's-
missus not going with you?
Oh, yeah, they're going. But if I don't come back in a year and a half, then I'm going to be paying alimony, and it's in my best interest to return with the family.
So in a year and a half, when he's finally mastered the art of noodling, he will return back to Arizona. But he's not leaving night. He's just leaving because he's
No.
moving back to Tennessee.
Here, let's go ahead and kill the noodling thing right now. I'm scared to death. And
Don't be
I
a
told
chicken.
him for entertainment, I would jump in a river. I watch river monsters and scared to death. A swimming pool. Now, I'm that guy that gets in the pool with a shirt on anymore. You think I'm going to jump in the water that's murky to try to fight something? No.
I think we could dredge up some old footage where he said he was going to go noodling.
I said for entertainment purposes I would, but deep down inside I would die like 12 times.
He
So Robbie, y'all can't see Robbie, but Robbie is behind the camera. Robbie, if you could, please dig up that old footage and insert here exactly when he says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go
I'll
noodling."
go noodling. I know a guy.
You see
He
how
said, I know a guy.
So Will's notorious for saying and making commitments that he just doesn't hold true to.
Oh,
right?
I'll do it.
I mean, I remember when Will first came back and started working for me, and one of the things Will said to me is, my wife is Native American, so anything like the Grand Canyon, any of these places that you need tickets to, like the Skywalk, that's like $60 or $80. She can get you tickets for that. Have a soup pie. Oh, my wife can get you permits. You can go down. I said, sweet, let's do it. And guess what? Will never did.
He gave me like a week
Will
to get
never,
him.
no.
Hey.
So I reminded Will for like 6 months. And Will's like, oh, yeah, noodling, permits, the Skywalk, and nothing ever happened. So I am never shocked when Will says something and it never happens. That's just Will.
He acted like my wife
what
was
he
the only
does.
Native American standing on the corner with a trench coat handing out Skywalk tickets and
Hey,
stuff. Like,
the crazy thing is, Will's the one that offered it. He's the one that offered it, and then it
Exactly.
never happened. But hey, we're glad that he gets to go home to his banjo playing family so that his wife can experience a whole new side and culture of America in the Midwest.
I should have told him on MLK Day. I think they were handing out free tickets to any park in Arizona. I should have sent him a message.
He procrastinated long enough to where he's like, oh yeah, sorry, Stabler, pandemic.
so I just want to know what Brett was going to give you in return.
Nothing.
I gave him his job back.
No, he was a bully back in the day. Look,
he came back to us. And I said, okay, well, I'll take him.
He was like going into a farm in Tennessee, one of them big old oxy cattle that's over there. They're just intimidating over their whole herd. He used his size to try to bully me around. He was over there.
All 5'9" of me.
And he said, hey, you know what?
How tall are you, Will?
I'm your leader. And if you don't get it, he's going to put me in a headlock. And I was fearful for my life. And I thought,
how tall are you, Will?
Almost 6'1". I could outrun him, but if he
6'1",
gets a hold of me.
5'9".
I see.
Well,
Intimidation.
Yeah. You have to play to your strengths, Will. You should duel him to a home run contest.
Oh, we're talking softball now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not baseball.
Because he doesn't play baseball. He plays softball. And then when you say,
Look,
okay, it's
there
a
is a
fast pitch
difference.
softball, he's like, no. It's when you just lob it on up there.
Yeah, like
wouldn't be able to
this,
hit it.
underhanded.
He wouldn't be able to
Not
hit it out of the
overhanded.
dirt.
Dude, Will's the type of guy in these softball tournaments, right? That I don't know if I've got kids, so they watch Dude Perfect all the time. And they do these they mock these different things all the time. So one time they did this whole segment about mocking the softball guy. And every time they did it, it was Will. It was Will to a T. Got a brand new bat every game. Steps up to the plate. Wait a minute, that fence is a little far, but okay, let me tell you how you want to pitch it. And he hits it hard. He's running down the baseline, flexing, even though he doesn't have anything to flex. Little beer belly hanging out. We all know how that goes.
Had
Will.
to get the new bat because I beat the composite off of it over here.
Beat the composite.
off.
So hey, we know that you're an avid softball player, but are there any teams anywhere in
Tennessee?
Yeah, I already had it scripted, so I'm probably going to get beat up because out here I've got a track record of talking crap, and they're acclimated to me. Back over there, country people, man, it's going to be difficult.
You country, son. You country.
No, when I talk to people now, and I can barely understand them, and they're like, wow, you sound so sophisticated. I'm thinking, God, you sound completely horrible, like you're scripting for Deliverance.
I can't wait till he comes back after 6 months, after a year and a half, and listen to how you sound.
Yeah,
so the only reason you're not going to play is because you can't talk crap in their language?
No,
I'm going to talk
play.
crap.
But then you'll think you'll be hurt.
Probably. Yeah, I'm going out all the way. I'm going to go for, like they say, go to prison and find the biggest dude and hit him. That's what I'm going for.
And then
Just
he'll
swing.
run like he always does.
I'm going for the fences over here. So if you see me
Swing
two
for the
black
fence.
eyes, I've been told twice. That way you know I really get pounded.
Twice.
Can you send us pictures?
I will. I'll send pictures. That's what softball is, running your mouth. It don't matter how good you are.
Well, I don't think it matters if you're playing softball or if you're working or if you're doing a podcast. Running your mouth is like your A1A God-given talent.
That's what I bring.
That is
True
what
statement.
you are amazing at.
And we certainly will miss that.
We will miss that.
We will miss that.
I partially will miss that.
You're
Will.
going to miss it.
Just
Look,
partially.
Brett Stabler will miss it. He'll be texting
Even
me
Stabler
secretly.
will miss
He
you.
will.
Listen. When Will came on my team, when he came back tonight, and I allowed him to come back and be a part of my team,
So magnanimous.
he was a DDM for us out in Phoenix, the Phoenix terminal. And obviously, anybody that knows Will knows how great he is with drivers, and they all loved him. Well, the Phoenix terminal is big enough that we have 2 DDMs. And he and the other DDM at this time, they weren't exactly seeing eye to eye. And there was some arguing and some bickering like you see 2 children doing. And
Kind of like in softball,
yeah,
right?
and so I had to pull him into my office, and I had to say, okay, I had to separate the two. I say, Will, listen, I'm going to talk to X, Y, and Z person first. I want you to go stand over in that corner. And when I'm done talking to this person, then I'll have you come and we'll hear your story. Then we'll bring you both together and we're going to figure this out. So off Will goes, to this corner, and he's standing there. And we're sitting there trying to have a conversation, and he's just outside my office, and I'm thinking, what is that noise? And I look at the other person, I'm like, is somebody, I feel like there's somebody talking, and we look over. Will's literally talking to the corner. He's all by himself, and he's just right in the corner, immersed, talking. And he's and he thinks this, and I'm like, this is not going to work. So we had to bring Will back in. I'm like, all right, you're just going to sit in here, and you're just going to be calm, and you're not going to talk. Otherwise, I'll have to call your mom and ask for your medication. And that's going to be a whole big deal.
Do you know why? Because he was acting like Johnny Cochran over here, and I was over there practicing my script for my defense over here. I'm about to get roasted in here already. So I saw him pointing his finger, and he already had like a changes form, and I'm like, man, I've got to come up with something quick over here.
Hey,
This
the great news is the two of them worked it out, and they became very good friends, and they were incredible DDMs.
Is this when you said, Linda, can you please take him off my hands?
That's probably about that time.
I had to Zelle the other DDM just to make it look legit. It worked.
Wow.
Yeah, reoccurring thing every month. So
I thought you were going to say
that story's a little exaggerated, as you probably could tell, but
sure.
we all love Will.
95% of that was actually accurate.
It's the 5%.
Yeah, the only part that was not was the zelling.
So, has anybody ever heard the story of how you got into the industry?
Oh no! Are you wanting your ratings to absolutely tank?
No, I just want to know what I have one question. I want to know the answer. Was it legal or illegal? Did you get in
I wasn't
legally?
like
One
one
never
of your
knows.
former guests. No, mine was legal, legit. And I'll tell you the story on how I got into it. So in Tennessee, man, all of my friends were dropping like flies, drugs, going to jail, suicide.
Good gosh.
And I was a heathen. I was kind of a heathen back in the day. Not like trouble with the police or anything, but man, I was into sports, but I was kind of hell on wheels. And
No surprise.
it was one of those to where my dad and my stepmom said, you're either going to the military or you're going to find something to straighten you out. So I called Schneider National in 1998, and they had my bags packed for me. And 2 days later, I was dumped off in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that was literally.
They drove you to Charlotte? And
They
dumped you off?
drove me. There
So
was
you-
no
so you
negotiating.
said, Schneider, please, I can't go to the military. I am a type of guy that can't handle that.
Say
Is that what you're
what.
saying?
I was kind of.
I need you guys. I said, okay, we'll take
you
you.
need me, Schneider. It was like,
So what happened to the delivering moonshine in a box truck?
So before we get into the Schneider days,
That's what That's what I'm talking
We're going
about.
way back.
Was it
so
legal
there is
or illegal?
a statute of limitations in the state of Tennessee over here, so you can't come after me. Just for the record, so there was an '84 Honda Civic, and it was like the one, like the Wayne's World, had like the little glass rear end, and
yeah.
Isn't that called hatchback?
Like a bubble, yeah.
where I knew that I was a driver, my buddy was like, hey, we went up to Cocke County, Newport, which is on this scripted show on moonshiners and stuff, to where it's very podunk. And this little Honda Civic, like the hatchback, he says, we've got like 136 mason jars to go to Texarkana. And I was like, let's do this. So I asked my buddy, I said, hey, are you up for a road trip? And we did. We had that Honda Civic like this right here, loaded down. He was sweating bullets because I was calm as cucumbers. Like you could have cut my veins and ice water would just float out. And I knew once I delivered the moonshine across state lines, that was the only time that I've done that. But I knew that I had a niche for getting things across state lines.
Oh my gosh.
I was wondering
Legal
where this
or
was going to
illegal?
go, right?
Yeah, then after that, I
was your
kind
knack.
of,
that was your talent.
yeah, I delivered caskets.
So what are
and
you, like
stuff.
14 when that started?
12.
Okay.
Yeah, illegally setting on some phone books.
half a shoe on, right?
Yeah, but that was kind of literally like the start of it. And then box trucks around the city of Knoxville. That's how you acquired the gift of gab, was just going in and talking to people.
Yeah.
So you're a Tennessee Volunteer fan.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, I remember.
Volunteer fan.
Yeah,
Can
all
you-
of our teams
can you
are
sing it?
horrible. What?
Rocky Top.
Oh, I can barely talk English. You want me to sing?
I'm trying to remember how
That's
that tune
true.
The
goes.
question is, do you know it or not?
I do know it. But if I was in the shower, I'd probably sound like Whitney Houston, sir. So I'm going to save the public and not sing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for not making me sing.
All right. So then you went from illegal.
Yeah,
Then
one
you
time.
went to box truck
Yep.
or box truck.
Yep, box
and then
truck.
you went to Schneider.
Yeah, went to Schneider. And spent a couple months up there getting my CDL legally. And you had a commitment.
And actually passed.
Yeah, I passed. You know, it was I kept dropping money on the course out there. It was like, oh, look at that. What are these 20s, 50s, and 100s just floating around this
where did
course
he
out
get
here? Moonshine money. Yeah, moonshine money. But I spent a couple months doing that training, and then it was off to the races, man. Across the United States I went, and I knew I loved it.
Yeah.
So you were a company guy for how long?
Couple years.
And then you went into, did you go into owner operating?
I
thought
did.
you
I
owned
lost
yours.
out big time as an owner operator.
Why is that?
Because I thought I knew everything, just because I could deliver freight across state lines and be on time. I mean, I was doing stuff illegally back in the day, running 3 log books, if I even had a log book. And my first dose is when I knew that my smart aleck mouth got me in trouble. It was in California. And I went over the grapevine to go help in Kettleman City with a truck that had been hitting the tandems with a load of sugar. So they got me out there and worked me like a dog, just helping sling 40,000 pounds, me and this other individual who was as lazy as like a sack of wet flour. And as they're sitting over there hydrating, I'm over here slinging bags of sugar. And I got pulled over going over the grapevine for going in the wrong lane. And like 8 hours later, I come back to get into a rest area or a truck stop at the bottom of the hill. And lo and behold, I get pulled over by the same officer. And I didn't have any logbook. I was already tired. And I asked, I said, oh, am I helping pay for the electricity crisis in California?
No.
And he did not like me. He did not like my French accent. He did not like the way I looked, everything about me. And he asked for my logbooks, and I couldn't produce them. But if I'd have been smart enough now, knowing what I know now back then, I would have just said I lost them. But no, I was like, here you go. And it was all kinds of mucked up. $1,500.
That was your fine?
That was my fine. I tried not to pay it for like 2 years. And they had a warrant out for my arrest in California, which I got an alert at my mom and dad's house in Tennessee, so I was scared to death. So I hopped on it pretty quick to take care of my ticket.
We are awfully proud of our Will Phipps.
At least that was prior to him being at night.
I think there's a reason why we didn't know that background.
Things may not have turned out quite as nice for you.
But see, the good thing is relating to the drivers, they can't pull anything over. It's kind of like your kids when they do something. It's like, no, I've done that. I got caught. You're not getting away with it. So
this is true.
That's true.
Especially as a DDM, you were very, very good in that world, in the safety world.
Well, let's follow that. So you were owner op, and then where did you go next?
Well, he was a failed owner op, but go on.
Yeah, so after losing mini skins in the owner op game, I was kind of just floating around. I was going to like contracted driver services here in town. And after years of driving for company and trying the owner op game, my first crack at the office was I went to a mattress company downtown Phoenix. And a salesman from night by the name of Mark Dean. Remember Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Mark actually was standing on the dock, and he says, you'll talk to anybody. And I thought, well, why not? You know, I'm from the South. That's what we're taught to do is talk to everybody. Whether it's right or wrong, you just sit there and just shoot it up with anybody. It don't even matter.
Right.
He then said, hey, we have a position open at night transportation. Would you be interested? I was like, I didn't even know anything about night transportation. I knew they were red trucks and had a joust with a guy on a sticker on the side. And this is in like 04. And Mark, Jason Wallace, and myself went to dinner. And Jason Wallace was actually my first terminal manager and gave me my first crack at working internally in an office.
Wow.
As a driver manager?
Safety director.
Safety?
I mean, I went straight from the freezer to the frying pan.
Big time right there.
Yeah.
Now back up. How did you end up in Phoenix? You go from
Yeah, you didn't
Tennessee
tell
to
us.
Georgia, and I'm still stuck in Georgia.
In California,
somewhere.
on the grapevine.
Well, driving California, but
Just kind of bouncing around. You see states.
You
that
just said I want to go to Arizona.
My very first load out from the East Coast, going up to 95. I finally got out to like Dallas, and then from Dallas, I went out to California. I knew that I hated California. I was like, they scared you to death. It was 55 mile an hour. They had airplanes that were monitoring the CBs. So you're over there thinking, man, you got to get behind somebody and let whoever's in front of you get the ticket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was like, I can't drive 55 mile an hour. And I knew I didn't want to go to California, but I went up to Flagstaff. It was in like August. It was very nice up there, and I fell in love. Went back to Tennessee, and
Flagstaff is kind of bait and switch in the summertime.
Yeah, it is.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. Temperature's great.
Yep.
The winter.
Drive down
Until you
the
drive
hill,
down the hill and you're in the desert. Nah,
Yep.
not so
115.
much.
And then I made a couple little trips down into the valley here within the next year,
Yeah.
and then decided, you know what, I like the area.
I like
Okay.
the area. I think I can play softball here.
Nah, I didn't even care about softball back then, man. No, actually, my very first day here in Phoenix, Arizona, man, I don't even know if I should share this, but I'm going to.
Oh, boy.
I had
After
like
the illegal moonshine.
no, I had like
Why not?
No, I had like $800 cash in my pocket, and I had me and my dog, and I went to a payphone on 43rd Avenue in Indian School at Kmart, and I was calling a guy about a room to rent out, shared room. I didn't know anything. I didn't know there was crime. Who cares? Whatever. And after I got off the payphone, I got surrounded by like 5 cars, and the guy pulled up his Puma, those white pants, and he had a gun. His other buddy was sitting over there, and they took all my cash, everything,
So you went from $800 to
to
nothing.
nothing real quick. And I thought, oh my goodness, is this my welcome? And I learned real quick.
That's your welcome.
That was my welcome to Arizona.
And you stayed.
I stayed. Actually, my dad and him had the Western Union money. So,
Wow.
yeah, they didn't have Zelle and all that. So not only was he mad, saying,
Paying
what the heck have
fees.
you gotten yourself into? Why are you out there? What are you doing? So I got a good lecture. But the little bit of money that I got, I made it happen.
So let's
Wow.
talk a little bit about, you came on board as the safety director under Jason Wallace, and then you disappeared for a time. You thought you had it all figured out. You could go wherever you wanted.
I did. I ventured
Life was going to
around.
be good. Why don't you share with us how that happened?
I left to actually go to Swift.
Oh,
Yeah, I went to
okay.
Swift for actually about 3.5, 4 years, and working in the safety department over there. And once again, I thought I knew it all. And when the tough got going, it was I really didn't figure out the office politics side of things. I thought that I had known everything there is to know, and I thought, okay, somebody will treat me right. And so I went out dabbling around in some civil construction companies over at Swift. And I remember the owner of this construction company. I don't even care. I'll say the name, Truesdale. And this guy was the most arrogant millionaire ever in the history. And he would always be the one that would flaunt his money to me. And he tried using it as an intimidating factor for me. He set me down in this big conference room, and the table's like 75 feet long, and he's got his little butterfly collared shirt and his shoes and stuff. And he literally kicks his feet up, and he goes, "Do you think you're worthy to run this role?" And I'm thinking, all I'm doing is running a bunch of junky equipment for you to put like on the road, getting them cleaned up.
He's got great conversation skills, doesn't he?
No, this is how he came at me, and he says, well, if it don't work out here, he goes, I just don't see you're very happy. And he asked me this question, and I knew that where I belonged. And he goes, well, if it's not here your heart is at, where would you want to be? And I told him right then and looked him in the face, and I said, if I ever have the opportunity to return back to night transportation, I said, I felt like I've paid my dues.
Ooh.
And I knew what I could bring. And then that's where, when I interviewed, they had like 9 people. And I already knew the game plan. The more people they bring in, they're trying to rattle you and ask you questions.
It's not the game plan.
It was the
but-
game
no,
plan.
it's not
And I had it figured out.
That's just called a panel
Hey.
interview, but go on.
I was
Clearly, you don't have it all figured out.
I was interviewing them after like the 10th person. I'm like, man, we're an hour and a half into this interview. And they led me to Brett, and that's where the magic happened.
Oh, boy.
We frolicked off down the Arizona aisle, and I
Frolicked.
chose Brett. He was trying to throw me under the bus, but I chose him.
Look at him
Hey.
say, I chose him.
I chose
That's
Brett.
not entirely how that's happened, but that's okay.
It's funny
This is
how
this is his final
Kind of like
farewell.
the
party.
Voice. I chose you,
Yeah.
right?
But I will say, out of all the leaders that I had, he was probably the funnest. Yeah, because honestly,
Did you hear that, Linda?
Did you just hear the jab that I just
Did you
got?
just hear that?
No, no,
Linda?
Did you just hear that? Did you just hear that?
And I say that.
Can we
because-
replay that?
Of all the leaders I've ever
And the reason
had.
why I say that
Stabler,
because
you were the best.
Will,
Brett-
keep going.
Brett didn't know anything about trucking. It was like he had no clue about
he still doesn't.
transportation. And I'm thinking, he wanted me to come on. He was in pharmaceutical sales, and I'm thinking, how does this guy get to run the largest fleet in Arizona? We had like 215 trucks, and I'm thinking, okay, but he would sit in there and he kept the morale going. And then I learned real quick. I said, you didn't have to know anything about trucking. I said he had people skills, and if you wanted a leader to talk, I'd never seen a type like him manage people. And he would be in there singing. He couldn't sing a lick, but he would keep the spirits up so much in our division. I said it was very fun.
I can't wait to hear
Wow.
So for that,
I can't wait.
I tip my hat.
But for
to you.
everyone else, all the other leaders, they
it. And
suck.
all the other leaders that
No.
you ever had, Will.
I truly wish that I could sit here and say that's full of crap. I knew all about trucking. He's right. I didn't know anything.
I think
But
that's what was so funny.
Can you sing?
Can I sing?
I want to
Of
know.
course I sing.
And he would sing whatever. I mean, he didn't care.
Come on.
I
Pop
mean,
culture.
Boy George, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion.
Whatever was on, I should sing it. Yeah, we did it every Friday. Every
It
Friday.
was fun.
Open mic?
He didn't
Every
need
Friday.
a mic, man. He's
No,
very
just-
loud.
just
Yeah,
the
he was
whole
a
office
loud
heard.
guy.
It was good.
It was fun. And it wasn't knocking anybody else, but it was just like
Totally
the
was
most
knocking everybody else.
unique.
All of us.
Yeah, unique. He was unique.
Corey,
Yeah, we had a good team.
Corey, I think you're a wonderful leader.
I think you're a wonderful leader.
Thank you, Corey.
Wow.
No, it's not a knock.
you're an amazing person.
Thanks, Stabler.
I don't.
Look at there. Look at there.
Oh, that is great. That's a great story.
And
When
Will's
did you
been
learn
with
to
us ever since, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I regret the fact that now that I know this, that I would approach
Well-
Stabler and said, Stabler, I gotta have Will Phipps on my team.
Yeah.
I had to convince
sorry
him
I
because he
did
didn't want to
that.
leave, but I did have to convince him. No, what happened was Linda came inquiring. They were starting this new kind of project and with DQP and other things, and Will, as everybody knows, including the drivers that are out there that know him, he loves drivers and he's great with them.
Right.
Probably because he's been through the grind the way they have, and he's got empathy for that, and
it shows.
Yeah, and he wanted to get into more of a teaching type role, which that position. So, and that things have kind of morphed into who he is and where he's at now, which
Yeah.
really hasn't been too much, but we still love having him around.
without getting all syrupy, one of the things I've always really I've loved about Will and liked about him is how he makes a connection with drivers because he's lived the life, and they make a connection with him and then continue to be friends with him.
Yeah.
And call him for advice, call him for when they get and just to come by and say hi.
Yeah.
So you've got a good memory to remember all those folks.
You're right. It's a curse
Yeah.
sometimes too.
Oh, that's good.
Well, thank you.
See, we got all mushy there just in a second.
Well, he did tell me a secret. So when he puts their drivers in this phone, like if the driver gives him his phone number, puts it in there. So like if this driver, if he called that guy, "What up, Yellow Shoes?" Then in this thing is the driver's name, Yellow Shoes. So when he answers the phone, "Hey, Yellow Shoes, how's it going?"
I put a quality about each person.
That way he knows.
What date they attended DQP and something about them. Like our bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember how
That's
Kevin
awesome.
used to
So
take a picture?
you still have that right now?
Oh, yeah.
On his
Who
phone,
do you,
which is
what-
awesome.
Do you
I
have
think that
Higby in there or Dolliver or any of those guys?
Higby's known as ear hair and nose hair. That's how
You knew that was coming.
Steve.
Okay, I want to know what Brett's handle is.
Brett? No, I just had him as Brett Stabler, Arizona Service Center Manager. I keep the professionalism, but if there's somebody they talk crap or like the big old guy who tried breaking my hand in there. Yeah, he was handbreaker. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's so funny.
That's so you can
So he
remember
was
them,
what 6'7",
if not
about
more.
300 pounds.
A big old country dude.
But everybody in the terminal, in the Buckeye facility, knew that when it came to drivers, you need Will. Will could calm them down. Will could keep them in, talk them off the ledge.
True
In
statement.
fact, when I was running Southern California, and Will had nothing to do with SoCal at that time, or Phoenix, I think you were working with Linda on the DQP project. I would have to go out to the Fontana yard once a quarter, and I would take Will because he was just so good with the drivers, and they loved him. So even when he wasn't working for me, he was still coming with me to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did you get into softball?
Driving my wife and family crazy. I have so much energy. They said that.
Go find a hobby.
Yeah, they go find something. So I remember.
His wife is the sweetest and calmest lady.
Yeah, total opposite of me.
Yeah,
she's like a librarian.
She is so calm and sweet.
Yeah.
She'd have to be completely opposite of him. If
No
not,
kidding.
it wouldn't work.
Could you imagine living with me?
No.
No.
You kidding me? We couldn't imagine working
Most
with
people
him.
can barely sit in this podcast room. And yes, my poor wife was like, you have to find something. So I had to go pimp myself out, standing at the fence over there at softball
I got next,
fields.
me? Pick
Yeah,
me?
be like,
Pick me.
Hey, and they would look at you and go, no. I was like, all right. So
No.
honestly, after about a year and a half, they showed
finally
that.
said, all right.
Yeah, I was like, man, this guy just keeps showing up. Come on, bring your glove. And I was like a little kid, man. I had my glove, like a little tortilla. Had that baby you could roll up in your back pocket. And I went out there, and that was all she wrote.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, start networking.
He took the C League by storm.
No, the funnest
It's
part.
the senior league. You know that, right?
Senior league.
The funnest part of softball is just the ability just to talk crap and have fun with them. And then they put up with it. That's the funnest thing. And then not getting pounded in the ground. That's been the challenge over the years because there's some pretty big hog mollies out there that could just
Hog
beat
mollies?
you down.
Hog mollies. What's a hog molly?
Don't even ask.
Yeah, a hog molly is a country dude that stands like anything over 6'4", and you could just see their calloused hands, and you could tell they've done nothing but sling round bales of hay, for a living. And
Where does the molly come in?
I don't know. I just heard it a long time ago from country people, and it just kind of ran with
From
it.
his kinfolk.
I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's listening to this and watching hog molly. Please respond. You've got my back. Country people know what it is.
Yes, send us an
Are we sure
email.
it's
We would
country
love to see
people?
that.
Oh, it's country people. Yeah, it's 100% country. Like hog
I just wasn't
molly.
sure if it was like deliverance people.
No. You were a hog molly.
I've
You were a hog molly.
I've
You
never
were.
stood taller than 6'4".
You were like one of those Grecian
Certainly.
wrestlers, like 4'8", and you were
Didn't we just say you were 5'9"?
5'9".
Yeah.
No, he's giving himself.
What he's not good at is listening.
No, he's like Kyler Murray. He wants to sell himself up.
No, I don't need to. I don't need. Kyler has to sell himself up because of millions of dollars.
No, he's actually taller than you.
Who?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I know. He's like 5'10" and a half. I get it.
Giant.
I don't know what you're getting at
It's a
here.
5'10" and a half.
I'm just taking my stabs at
Not
him
5'10",
when I can
5'10"
here.
and a half.
You can't take stabs at me for something I've already
Oh,
said.
look.
I'm
Hey,
5'9".
my time is running out here. This is my last.
That's right. We forgot. This is your party that you're throwing for
This is
yourself.
it.
What else
I
do you,
want
would
the
you like
little
to talk about,
pony
Will?
brought in and the little cake with a unicorn on it. This is this princess's
Dang,
final
we should have
farewell.
totally got him a unicorn cake.
Totally.
Why didn't we?
Dang it.
Why didn't we get this princess a
Right, this
unicorn
princess
cake?
needed a cake and y'all didn't come through.
We would have ate it too.
Well, we didn't
Push
come through because
pause.
I still
We'll go
haven't
run and
got
get
my
one.
Skywalk tickets or have
Oh.
a soup eye tickets.
I'm gonna get them for you.
My
yeah.
wife's got the tribal land. She knows all the people. I get these no problem.
No, and we had a gentleman that when he was going for the wreaths across America, I had money set aside because I made a deal on camera that
You did.
if he won the truck, I had to buy him a Texas bumper, and I was
That's right.
sweating bullets, and I was like, oh my gosh! So you know what I
did.
did? I had to take $500 just to set it off to the side, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to happen. I thought he was really going to win it.
I know. I was
And,
so upset.
I was going to get that bumper for him. So I give my word. Hey, it might not have happened back years ago, but I'm going to get
now,
you.
Will, it's very easy to say. I put $500 aside.
No.
I was sweating bullets because you know it didn't happen.
Slimly flown.
I
That's what
thought
it was.
he was gonna say, "Hey, my wife can get you a bumper."
She didn't want nothing to do. She would run me over with that bumper.
Hey, all I want to know is if you're getting it for Stabler, I want in on this deal too.
negative.
I gotta hurry. My wife's mom and them are going to Italy they're going for months.
Hey, I think it's closed. Don't worry about it.
What,
We're
Italy?
not going anywhere.
No, they have some exemption.
There's a thing called a worldwide pandemic that's been going on for like the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. So I don't know if
It's called closed borders, Will.
They closed the borders to slow the spread, so I don't think they're getting anywhere.
Have you checked to see if Tennessee's borders are open?
We don't even know if he
Tennessee's
can get there.
borders?
Yeah.
I got back roads to get in.
Are you driving?
I got back roads.
I'm driving.
You're driving again?
I
The
am.
roads that are closed.
Yeah.
The roads that are closed off.
I'm actually the trek tomorrow night about midnight.
Wow.
You're gonna start off at midnight?
Midnight.
Why so late?
Because then they'll end at a nice time of the day.
Yeah.
So you can bypass all of the port of entries.
What type of advice, if you could give drivers, let's just pretend that this was your last time on the microphone in this room. I say let's pretend because we all know you're probably going to be back sooner than later and you're going to be right in front of the microphone again. So if you had a chance for this one last time to tell drivers, give the drivers the best advice from Slick Willie Phipps, what would that advice be?
My advice for drivers would be slow down. Everybody that gets into the industry wants to expedite their training. They want to make $1 million with no experience. So I would tell them, take your time, enjoy the training out there, pay your dues, and listen to anybody that's willing to mentor and give you advice, because everybody wants to make $1 million in the first couple months. It's not going to happen. You have to take the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Take every load. Don't turn down anything. And I told myself when I got into trucking, I'm probably the most competitive person that's out there, and I wanted to come in and outdo everybody that's around me. So if I was driving with 10 other people, I wanted my name out for my driver manager to know that I would take everything, not complain about it, get it there safely, and then that way they knew that I was dependable. And that would be what I would tell the drivers. Slow down, enjoy it, pay your dues, and enjoy the ride. It can open up many doors for you.
Nice. Good advice.
Wow. Would
That
you
is
have
great
expected
advice.
that kind of advice from Will?
No, but we appreciate that advice, Will.
That was great advice.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. It has its moments.
The Willisms.
I know we will miss the Willisms. For
And
sure.
you guys know that I'm not leaving the company. So I bet within the last 2 weeks, so I have to clear the air. So I've gotten phone calls that think I'm either dying, I'm leaving to go to another company. I am not.
He's literally gotten like 2 phone calls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
One
I'm
was
actually
from Corey and the other was from Linda. It's-
yeah. So I'm actually part of a program called Top Gun, and it's like a spin-off from a commercial driving school, the Academy, which we take. The CDO school gives the foundation, and the Top Gun is simulations, and we have where they get to sleep in a truck and start seeing what life will be like out on the road. And these are very expensive simulators, and it's supposed to get a driver prepared. So before they go out with a trainer or a mentor, they've started to experience sleeping in a truck, backing maneuvers, seeing what life will be like. And it's supposed to help ease them into an industry to make sure it's something that they really want to do. And I'm going to be doing that in Tennessee and traveling around on the East Coast.
Very nice.
You're only getting rid of me for a short little while. I'll be back. So
a year to a year and a half,
you all
supposedly.
enjoy this break from Will. And
I'm not sure we're going to have any availability back out here. So,
Exactly.
but I'm glad they've got something for you in Tennessee where you can continue to thrive, and
I'm great cleaning toilets.
we'll send you a card every now
water,
and then.
Getting food, running errands.
That's good.
So when we were doing TQP a couple of years ago, we used to always start off with the new candidates coming in to orientation and ask them what's on their bucket list.
Right.
And Will would say that he wanted to build a cabin in Tennessee. And that was one of the things on his bucket list. And he would say that over and over and over again. So who knows?
Are you building a cabin?
After a year and a half,
Got the property, But with the price of material, it's probably going to be a modular home or something with wheels drug over there.
Come to reality.
Be a one-bedroom box.
Yes, I always had this dream of being manly, like the brawny paper towel guy out there with your tool belt, and you're out there just hammering and packing mud in the logs
down the
and
trees?
stuff, and building a cabin. That's what I had envisioned.
So y'all don't have trees in Tennessee on this property?
We do.
You heard it
What was it-
here
what was that?
first. He is not
A manly man.
What was that thing you called it? Holly Molly?
Hog Molly.
Hog molly.
Hog Molly. You wanted to be a Hog Molly?
I got big friends over there. Hey,
So
hog
you've
molly.
you've already got the property.
got an RV set up over there, man. And hey, it's just from the freezer to the frying pan.
Is it out in the middle of nowhere? What are we talking? How many acres do we have here?
3. It's on 3 acres right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in the center of 3 acres?
Kind of off to the side. It's kind of like a bowl of soup right now. It's been nothing but rain, and when I get there, it's a nightmare.
But I think it's
Does-
really cool
Yeah.
that you've been saying on my bucket list, this is what I want to do. And now he's going to do it.
So does that mean the plan is eventually to retire in Tennessee?
I don't know. I'm actually very nervous about even going back, honestly,
Why?
because I've been out here for almost 21 years, and this is my home. I mean, that was my childhood back there, but Arizona is,
We accepted him.
yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't
Even
spit
when they
for-
mugged them.
For
Yeah, they
who
didn't
he
spit me
was,
back
we
out.
accepted him.
Even when they mugged them, we still kept them.
I'd like to be a snowbird.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to be a snowbird.
They got some pretty land up in Tennessee. I will say that.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I've seen like Garth Brooks and his ranch that's out there.
He's got big money. My home's got
That's
wheels
nice.
on it, Brett. Hey,
Nice.
Garth Brooks' home does not have wheels on it. Will Phipps' home will have wheels and can be moved at any
I'm
time.
talking more of the land, Will. We all know that's not happening for you. But it's
That's
beautiful.
hilarious.
Yeah, that dude's probably got 3,000 acres. I'm looking at 3 acres here.
Yeah, you
God,
probably,
that's
probably
hilarious.
won't be farming much on yours. You close to water?
No, I talked to a guy here at night, though, and he taught me how to have chickens. So I plan on having
Yeah.
chickens, and there's a pond. And
You can-
yes, I'm going to try it, man.
You
Probably
can-
won't eat it.
You can
Are there-
have cows too.
Yeah, I don't know about the cows.
Are there other like homes or property around the area?
There's
Or are
one
you
off.
pretty secluded?
No, there's kind of a weird neighbor off to the right-hand side.
A weird
Yeah,
neighbor?
weird. Like
Hog-
this
hog
dude.
molly.
No, this dude don't even have electricity.
He's living
Off the grid.
He looks like
Well, I'm
he's.
pretty
Maybe
sure.
he's got
I'm pretty,
solar panels.
No,
I'm
he
pretty
ain't got
sure
no
this guy
solar
could
panels.
probably help you build that little
Oh,
cabin
yeah.
you want.
I've seen this dude stand on the front porch of his trailer, and he barely could stand out there, and he put his old rickety finger up, and he's very creepy looking.
Are
That's
you?
the neighbor that you want to keep close eye on over here, and I hope that he doesn't come over and ask me
You
for a cup of sugar. Nothing.
You should go meet him.
No.
Yes.
No, this guy.
You should go meet him because he could be your best friend.
I guarantee he does not have accessibility to listen to this podcast, and I will not be reaching out an olive branch for this guy. He's very creepy.
Oh, that's not like you.
What if he walked back into his trailer or his house and he's got a missus in there and he's like, that new neighbor of
There's
ours
no-
is so he's got
there
this
is-
bald head and beady little eyes and he won't shut up. I guarantee he's a weird one.
I guarantee there's no misses in this trailer. Not at all. Not 100%. Not at all.
Okay.
Not happening.
playing your theme song.
That's the guy's music right there. Banjos over here. And that's what, when you see this, Deliverance Part 2, and I stay away from
well,
it.
yeah. Well,
Oh my
everybody
God.
knows you were the kid on Deliverance playing the banjo.
That's what this is. There's an old, like, country people know that if you hear the woods whisper, you run. You do not go into it.
You don't go into the woods.
Do
I
not go
agree.
into the woods.
So on your property are there woods
Oh, yeah, it's surrounded on the back part.
for woods?
I'm
yeah?
not going in. I'm cityfied now.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm
So
kind
you're
of
not even gonna have a little garden.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have a garden.
So in your pond, is it stocked with like catfish?
No, I think all the fish died.
So are you gonna stock
Yeah,
it?
there's a turtle. There's a snapping turtle.
This sounds like the most pathetic
Are you
piece
gonna
of
stock it?
property.
I
Carpet
cannot wait to
catfish?
go out there.
Fish
Yeah,
all died.
that's our goal.
No, I'm
To
not
stock
going
it?
in the
Yeah,
woods.
that's our goal.
So you know, my husband's from Georgia, and I've always wanted a pond ever since I've been there, because like we go over to his parents don't have a pond, but a friend of his does, and they'd say, y'all want to make catfish? And we'd be like, yeah. So we go over there to the catfish pond. You just throw this feed out into the thing, and then you just take a net and you're like, oh, this one's a good one, or no, that's not going to feed us, but you only took enough, obviously that you needed. But it was the coolest thing ever since then. I'm like, dang, I'd like to have a catfish pond.
Probably koi fish and goldfish. They get big. Or carp.
But
Yeah,
why
I don't
would you
no
want
stinking
Are
because
you going to
most of-
eat the goldfish?
No, you don't eat any of
Then
that.
Why would you eat a
waste
catfish?
it?
No,
I
the
know
catfish
it.
What do
have
you
like
mean?
catfish
Why?
no, they have like
Oh,
6
I
eyeballs
love
from all the
catfish.
chemicals that people's dumped in the water.
Oh.
No.
They're
Catfish
so
are
good. Are you
disgusting.
kidding me? They're
No,
so
look at
good.
them.
No, I will.
Those noodlers, they pull those things out, and you're just like, why in the world would you even want? They are the most hideous
So good.
fish.
Don't do
You know what
koi.
they
You
are.
can't eat that.
I don't want to eat them all. If I want fish, I'll go to Long John Silver's. That's it.
Oh my
That's
God.
it.
You are
Hey,
kidding
If
me.
it's got tempura just dripping off of it, nastiness, that's my
said if
kind
I
of
want
fish.
fish-
Yeah,
He said if I want fish, I'm going to go to Long John Silver's.
Well, then you're probably eating carp at Long John Silver's.
Or
that's
goldfish.
probably what it is. Some of that farm-raised goodness. I am not eating anything out of the water up there. No.
You know what
But
a
if
cat?
you
You know what a
stunk
catfish
it-
is, right, Will?
Huh?
You know what a catfish is?
No.
Evolution of pollution.
And it's good.
Exactly. No, I'm not eating into that.
Well,
If
I'm not into catfish either, but
I
I'm
like
into
catching
all
them.
fish.
No, having in a pond, yes.
Oh, do not tell me that you're a
Decorative.
catcher and
No.
releaser.
You're not going to eat it.
Are you a catcher and a
No.
releaser?
No, it's
no,
like,
you just to throw it on the shore.
hey,
What
look,
do you do with it then if you're not going
What
to
do you
eat
want me to
it?
put
He
on
hits
a
his
gr-
head
Hey,
against a tree.
You want me to put on a grass skirt and jump in with my spear and
No.
wrestle them to the boat?
You just told me that you. Yeah, I would like for you to do that. You just told me you don't eat it. So what are you going to do if you catch it?
Put it back.
Remember that?
So
Remember
you're a
that?
catcher and a releaser. That's
Yeah.
dumb. Let me hook you with a hook in your cheek and then just
No.
take it out.
What are you going to sit there with a little net?
Instead, why
That
don't I
is
hook you with it in your cheek and
so
then pitch you on the
mean.
head with
No.
a mallet till you die? That's better.
That's better.
How else are you supposed to get the fish in there? Whistle?
Well,
Come on.
that's mean to hook them with it. You hurt their little cheek.
Oh, they're
yeah.
tough. Yeah, they're tough.
And
You
then
take-
when you
no.
eat them,
You can't worry about that.
No, you're tough.
That's
You
circle
just-
of life.
A good pair of like needle nose pliers, you'll get it out.
That's all.
No, I'm going
Yeah.
to stick you with the
Oh,
needle.
I've been hooked in the face with a hook, an eagle claw.
I can't wait till you
I
got two black
survived.
eyes.
Claw.
Look.
Hey, from here on out, if you catch a catfish, just to make Linda happy, just offer it up over to your neighbor.
No, now she's going to have
Your
Give it to
neighbor would
I
probably
bet
want
your
it.
neighbor will eat it.
No, now there's going to be
Extend
PETA
the
and
olive
animal
branch.
activist people all over
Oh,
Will. It was
yeah, for
Linda
sure.
Dominy. Will is a catch-release guy.
catch and releaser.
Yes, and that should be PETA because that's inhumane to stick that in, just throw them back
They
in.
don't
you
do
know-
that
They actually
Chop
anymore.
off the
They
head,
can't really
call it
feel
do.
it.
Little
How
mi-
do you know they can't feel
little
it? Did they
fish
tell
have
you?
Because they can't
hands.
feel you chopping off their head either, right?
Yeah, little
Heck
fish
no.
have
No,
No,
hands.
so
quick.
what are they going to feel a little hook
And
in
they
their
see
mouth?
the little hook and they just grab a hold of it and they ride up to the surface. And
It's
then
a
they jump off.
scientific fact that there are no nerves around their mouth.
You just
Here we
know
go. We
where
just
you
got
down.
scientific
You want
here.
to drop the mic on Linda?
But I'll tell you, those
That was-
catfish.
I just
catfish
dreamed that
have,
up.
Like they shoot barbs on it at you.
And they should.
Like if you
'Cause you're
if you
not
hold
used
it in
to
the
them.
wrong place,
If you don't grab
yeah.
a hold of a catfish
Yeah.
correctly, the barb will
yeah,
get you.
catfish are
it
disgusting.
should.
No.
Shoot a
That's
barb in you.
defense.
That's why they're good with hush puppies.
I am very
and
confused by
coleslaw
Linda's
and some
stance
pickled
here.
I
barbecue
know
sauce.
it.
She kills the fish, which is fine. I have no problem with it. But she's trying to defend the fish that she's literally going to chop off the head. Or
Did you
beat
hear
over
how
the
And
she
head.
it's so
catches
good.
it? Throws the feed,
And pick it up.
pick it up,
With
and
the
then
net.
and then how do you get it into the pot?
Well, you got to. I don't. My husband does that.
What does he
He's
do?
the country folk.
What does he do to him?
Clonks them over the head.
I'm guessing he probably hits
Yeah,
him
you got to
over
hit
the
him
head.
over the head. You got to kill him.
I'm guessing he probably hits it over the head.
Hey, did you
and
guys know
pulls the
Will
stuff
has
off.
one other talent?
What?
This hidden talent that
Besides noodling?
uh-huh.
What else?
Besides noodling?
I don't know what it is.
You do. You'll remember.
Uh-oh.
Will is the best short order cook you have ever seen.
That was the worst
What?
job in America. No, I am not. No.
Oh, he
No.
is.
No.
And he every day he would come in and talk about making fries, making
No, because I would
Philly
come into
sandwiches.
DQP the next day with like all these red dots, like I had measles all over me, and I offered to go in with our son-in-law. He bought a sports bar and he was having trouble staffing it, so I'm sitting around at dinner and I'm trying to be a nice guy and offer, well, I'll come up and help cook. Worst job in America.
Does he still own that place?
No,
No.
worst ever.
He sold it?
No, they were so weird in there. Cooks. They were just no.
Will
It was-
volunteered to
nice.
go
Now that
help
It
him
was
out.
a nice place,
Now that he's
and there were
literally
nice people that
alienated
worked
all
there.
these
Right,
different
Will?
people.
No.
What was your favorite thing to grill up?
Probably the cheese sticks. Wasn't supposed to eat them, but I would.
The
I'd
cheese
have
sticks?
The cheese
Oh,
sticks.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd have my little cup of marinara sauce, and they'd always yell at you for eating. But you just act like it was no good or nobody got the order, and you would set it all to the side, and I would chow down.
Well, it's your son-in-law.
Kind of like
Is he gonna yell
not
at
having
you?
logbooks when you were driving,
No, not
right?
now.
Yeah.
No, he never knew.
Oh,
Yeah, he never knew.
he does now.
No wonder why he's out of business.
Yeah, I
Will
am
just
out-
kept eating the product.
I am out of cheese
Didn't
sticks.
make any money off it. Will's just hiding it in the corner. I'm
Man of
gonna
many-
save that one for later.
Many, many, many talents.
That's hilarious. Wow, so you didn't enjoy being a cook, huh?
Worst
See?
job ever.
And we could have. And here I was thinking, oh my gosh, and we didn't do a cook-off, you and I.
You know what? I have to. Can I share one funny? Like we're talking about the worst job in America. I just have to say this. And
Oh, Lord.
this is something
I'm
that
afraid.
We can
My-
edit this, right?
my
Okay.
you can edit if you truly need to. But this is like when
Probably
you
half
when
this
you
thing's gonna be
hear
edited.
this. So my grandfather worked with this guy at a meat processing plant,
Oh, boy.
Lay's Meat Company in Knoxville, Tennessee. And they go to church and they're like, "Hey, our grandkids need jobs." And I'm thinking, "Golly, why are you selling me up? I do not want to work." The place looked creepy. It was all dark, like
Will's got some
it was
pent-up
horrible. So
weird mental
my-
disorders
my-
when it comes to
the
like
very
creepy things.
first job that he had, it was throwing 50-pound bags of dextrose sugar down this big old slide into this slimy looking, I don't know, they ground up goats and whatever else for look like hamburger meat. And me and my buddy, he would be at the bottom. And I remember going so fast slinging these bags down that I fell down the chute. I ended up in the meat, and the guy's like, "This isn't working for you." So the next horrible job that
Hang on.
This
hang
is
on,
why he's
hang
bald.
on.
yeah,
This is why he's
This
got
is what
all
happened.
these
Hang
issues.
on.
That's right.
So you had to open up the sugar and pour the sugar down, or are you just
No, he's just
throwing
slinging the
sugar?
bag.
no, I was slinging the bags down.
He's
So
slinging
the
the bag and he
was
couldn't
showing
control
up
it.
into the meat.
And the guy would be at the bottom catching them, and he would take a box knife, and his job was to get it
Cut it
going.
open.
I don't know what he was doing.
And then you fell into the meat.
Yeah, because I went to throw a bag, and he wasn't ready, and I was like, "Oh no!"
See, Will.
So I just kind of went down with it.
Kind of
So
on to it.
yeah, and the supervisor, he's got this stupid looking hairnet and a little white look like doctor's coat on. He was like, "That's not going to work," and I was more embarrassed for my papa. Like, God, he got me the job.
Okay, hang on.
He got me
So-
a job, and I'm terrible at it.
I'm envisioning this big vat of
Creepy looking brick room.
some
up top.
type of meat that resembled hamburger
Is
meat.
it like a roller chute or
And
just
you
a
just
No,
fell
like a
into
silver,
it.
like a
Silver
silver
slide.
slide.
Like a
It goes
yeah,
down
just
into
like-
another
so you just
creepy
Like the
slid
old
room.
school
into
fire
it
escapes.
like you were sliding into a pool.
Exactly.
Oh, it wasn't a pool though.
It was just
like,
meat. It was just a pile of
my
meat.
A vat.
Yeah, whatever
Of
they
that.
chopped
They would
up.
probably throw into like hot dogs and things like
Yeah,
that.
whatever.
Anything.
Yeah. So the guy with the net and it was you couldn't even take everybody seriously. You're like, this job is horrible anyway. And this guy's talking to you
It's
like
horrible.
he's
It's my
going.
first day, and I can already tell you
Yeah,
it's horrible.
like he's going to coach you up, like you're going to do better. I mean, you're throwing stuff down a meat vat. So he pulls you off, and he's like, "Tomorrow I want you to show up." And they give you these stupid little hooks with no gloves, and they're
What's a hook?
like these hooks you
you
have.
hook,
You have to
you hook the bags.
you have to get them in
Yeah.
your
Or the meat.
fingers, and they have hooks on them. And you were digging down in this big thing of frozen. I don't even know what it was, but it's like
Meat.
8
Slabs
hours.
of meat.
They're like 100 pounds, and I started complaining over that, and that was like 2 weeks. And then the guy's like, "This is your last chance," and I'm like, "All right." And I was trying everything in the world to get fired. Okay. So the very last job, he was like, "Okay, Monday I want you to be down in the washroom." And I'm like, "What's the
Washroom?
washroom? This must be like the secret knock to where you get into like the club."
Yeah.
So I go over there, and these hooks, like nothing's ever cleaned on the wall. Like everything is dark and depressing. Look like something very bad happened at this place.
Oh Lord.
And there's a hat like Gordon the fisherman. So the stupid looking hat you have to wear. It's yellow.
Who is Gordon the Fisherman?
I don't know.
It's like the fish sticks, like the
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
At Long
Okay.
John Silver's,
Yeah.
you know, the guy in the
Fish
boat.
sticks.
No, I don't know, but okay, go on.
So there's no sanitary nothing in this place. The hat over there, it looked best hanging on the wall, but he's like, "Oh, try this on." You're like, "Oh, it's." I had hair back then, so it was
We
nothing.
know you lost it due
Like
to this
that.
toxic meat
It was,
pile.
you put it on your head, and you could just feel the filth on it. And he's like, "Oh, and here's the stupid little." You know, the
Plastic
yellow
thingy.
jacket that you had to wear, and it came up to about here, so you're like, oh, okay. And then you had to put these rubber boots on, and they were like 20 times too big, so you're walking, and the toes of them are just flopping around. He goes, follow me. And there's this tunnel that's like 100 yards long, and I'm like, what is this? And he flips on a conveyor, and then all these racks of weenies are coming down. There's seriously looks like a gazillion hot dogs on these. They're like 10 foot long. There's this
Are they
big
attached one by the other?
It's a whole rack.
It's like a link.
No, it's like a whole rack, and then the rack, the links of them are like dragging the floor, but they're not. I mean, it would
They're
probably
just
be
that long. Yeah. Okay.
And I finally realized what all the suit was. It was like weenie juice was in your ear. You're having to lift up, and you weren't even tall enough to get the racks of weenies off. And I did this
Let's
job.
just refer to it as hot dog juice.
Yeah. Hey,
There's no reason to say anything other than hot dog juice.
for 2 days. On the second day, you seriously had weenie juice in your
Okay, let's go back
ears,
to hot dog juice.
in
We
your
got kids that might be
eyes.
listening.
And after that right there, the second day, I thought, there is no way. I couldn't even lift the racks off. So I just,
Will still has some of those juices in him.
I bailed out. I said, this job is not for me. I could care less what my mama and papa say. I am not going back. And the funniest thing was, I
That
was
was
like,
funny already.
I had to go pick my check up. I was so embarrassed. I was like, dang
He
it. I don't even.
took the walk and
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I let them down.
Holy
And, I
mackerel,
go get my
Will.
paycheck, and I wish that I had this because it was like the most
God.
horrible title. Do you know what my job title was? And nobody would believe this. So my job title,
Weenie
was
Washer.
Weenie Washer. That was my job title, and that place right there was the most horrible job ever in the history of jobs. They closed down not too long after that. But it was. And the check was like for $18 and something. It cost me more than that to even get down there. So, there you go. There is my farewell story for you. So, yes.
So how much editing do we need to do on
Oh
that?
my God.
Robbie, our producer.
Oh.
I haven't laughed so hard.
Oh my God. I am.
so many
I am
years.
crying. Oh.
So, I just want to say, hey, Corey, Brett, Linda, for all the episodes that we've done, I have had a blast. For Alec, Ryan, Paige, Mr. Wolf, Robbie, all of our people behind the scenes, man. I started this journey with you on day one, and it's been a blast getting to know every one of you, and I wish you guys all of nothing but the best of luck and success, and I will continue to watch. And y'all better not be serious with your guest over here. Okay? I want somebody to top the Weeny Washer story that sits in this chair
There's
right
not
here.
one of us in this room that ever wants to use the word weenie washer. I'm just gonna tell you that.
I don't know that
Ever
we can
again.
ever type.
No.
Right?
I don't know that
We'll
we can.
never.
I've still got
ever.
tears coming out.
Will,
Oh.
we're glad you're gonna still be with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your humor, everything you bring, and
You will be missed.
Yeah, you will be missed. Why don't you close it down for us with the famous
One
Beyond the
last
Rig line?
time.
One
One
last
last
time.
time.
So, guys, as you could tell, we need all the help we can get on Beyond the Rig. So, subscribe to us any way you can on any mobile device. I mean, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, you name it. I mean, come on there and help us out. We would truly appreciate it.
Let's give Will a great send off by watching this episode.
That's
There
right.
you go.
And that's
Thank
it,
you.
guys. Thank you for watching Beyond the Rig or
Let's keep
listening.
on trucking.
Keep on trucking, America.
We enjoyed bringing this show to you, and we hope you had fun along the way too. We're going 10-10 for now, but you can catch us on the side on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Beyond the Rig and Drive Night. Until next time, be safe out there and keep trucking.